Praise the Lord, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Minister Curtis Dean, the Minister of Music here at First Missionary Baptist Church. We would love to hear how God is using our ministry in your life. If you have any questions about today's sermon or any general questions, please contact us at admin@fmbc-concord.org. Our mission is to lead all people into a life-changing, ever-growing relationship with Christ. Thanks again for joining us today for Sunday services. See you next week. Be blessed.
As we continue our series, Living a Life That Counts, I'm just enamored by how our culture works against us in so many ways. How many of you have noticed already that they've already got some Christmas commercials out? Yeah, it's not even Halloween yet. Yeah. I mean, they're just already pushing. In fact, it's just dead wrong to have Santa Claus with a pumpkin head and a lantern. I mean, they're just going to try to find a way to do both at the same time. You got Kmart and Walmart saying you could buy early and later away. Yeah, they show all the people with the happy faces, right? Buying all the presents and going through all the stores. They're looking all excited about all the stuff that they're buying and get you all excited to go out and do the same thing. Yeah, but that's not real, is it? No, because some of us are either low on employment or unemployed. Some of us may have just started a new job and just trying to get our budget back in line. Some of us have been to the doctor and gotten a bad report. Some of us are waiting for a report. Some of us are dealing already with that bad report. And all they want us to do is smile and buy. Yeah. Like, swipe, right? Isn't that right? But wouldn't it be nice to get through Christmas and be content? And not have to play that psychological game that we sometimes play. Do any of you play this game when you already know that your money's funny? You start saying, you know what? I don't care if I don't get anything. As long as the kids. There you go. As long as the kids are happy. You're lying. You know that you're just trying to psych yourself out. But why do we even have to go there? Wouldn't it just be nice to really enjoy the true meaning of Christmas and not feel all of this worldly pressure to have to go out and give and get and spend and run up debt and do all of those crazy things? But we're going to live a life that counts. We need to first understand how to have true contentment. How many of you like to have true contentment? Just be at peace. Yeah. Wouldn't that just imagine that for just a moment. Wouldn't that be nice if that was real? Well, guess what it can be? Open your Bibles, if you would, to Philippians, the 4th chapter. For those of you who may not have a Bible, our host team is coming down. If you just raise your hand, we're glad to grant you one. And you're welcome to keep that if you don't have one of your own. Here's one right here, behind me. And you're welcome to keep that if you don't have one, if you just like the way it reads. And for those of you who have the electronic devices, if you'll pull that out and download the text there, the version, and put that right there on your phone. And it'll give you a bunch of Bibles and do you some daily devotions. And you can put that right there on your device as well. I want to encourage you to go ahead and do that. And remember now, Wednesday night Bible study is still going. In fact, we're going strong. And if you've got young kids and you want to come out to Bible study, you're worried about what you have to do with them, well, we have a youth alternative from K through 12. We feed them, we help them do their homework, and then we make certain they get a biblical experience. So parents, you don't have to worry about that. You can bring them on out as early as, I believe, around 6:15. Bible study starts at 6:45. And in fact, the first 3 Wednesdays in November, we're running a special. Y'all, you know how to do that. We'll have a mini-series, and it's called Get It in Shape. for Christmas? How many of you want to be in shape for Christmas? Don't have to get it. How many of you like to come out of Christmas with zero debt? Amen. All right. Deacon Fanny, you stand up, please. Deacon Fanny, the servant leader of our Get Set Free team. He and I will be leading that series on that, I think it's November 2nd, 9th, and 16th. We're trying to get you ready for Black Friday. We're going to reverse that script. Yeah, it's going to be your Black Friday, not their Black Friday. Yeah, all right. So, what did I say? Philippians? The 4th chapter. Y'all look a little somber today. Turn to your neighbor and kiss him. Yeah. Woo! Watch it, now turn this way, kiss your neighbor to the other side. Now turn, yeah, give the same kiss to that person who did to you. Give them a good one. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, boy, I'm about to kill myself and watching y'all kiss all the time. Did y'all get that on video? You got it? All right, we're going to put that out there on Facebook, social media. Yes, indeed. All right, what did I say? Philippians, the 4th chapter. Let's start at the 11th verse there. Anybody else need a Bible? Anybody need a bulletin so you can take notes? Just raise your hand if you do. Philippians, the 4th chapter. I'm not saying this because I'm in need. Starting at the 11th verse. I'm not saying this because I'm in need. For I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. True contentment. The writer of this letter, now last week we got wisdom from the wisest and wealthiest man that had lived before Jesus, right? This week we're going to get a lesson from the boldest and bravest man that lived after Jesus. You'll hear in biblical circles, he is referred to as the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul wrote about 13 of the New Testament letters. This is one of the letters that he wrote, and he wrote it to the church of Philippi. When he wrote this letter, though, Paul wasn't writing from his ivory tower. You know, we can write great things when we're living in the Bay of Ease, when life is going well. It's easy to write and have a nice pen. But Paul was, at this time, he was in a dark, dampened, dreary dungeon in a Roman cell somewhere. And he was writing to this church in Philippi and letting them know how things were going for him. Now, he had a special relationship with this church. If you read Acts, the 16th chapter, I believe, you'll find out that this was the first church that he founded. And the people there, and he had a sort of special connection, sort of like your first child. You know, when you had your first child, don't you feel sort of, come on, y'all, don't look at me like I'm crazy. You know that first child gets extra special stuff. You know, have y'all seen that commercial where the mama, she's interviewing all the people with the first baby, you know, wanting to know what kind of degree she got, where they went to school, and all of that. And I mean, she was real tough on trying to find somebody to care for that first child. But when that second one came along, she didn't even care. She just handed it off to the first person, walked off the street, and headed out the door. Well, it's sort of the same way with Paul and his relationship with the church of Philippi. He had a special kindred for them, and they for him. And so here now, with his being in prison, he wanted to let them know, one, he was thankful for them, and also for the gift that they had sent him. Now, and so when you pick up there in the 4th chapter, you really start out at the very beginning talking about rejoicing. In fact, it's called the book of rejoicing. When you read it, he's always talking about rejoicing and talking about the circumstances he's in. Most of us can't rejoice unless everything's straight. Isn't that how most of us act? When everything's good, we can be good. But when life is going difficult, how many of you just be all ecstatic and rejoice? That's what I thought. Yeah, most of us need circumstances and situations to be right in order to feel that we can rejoice. And so what Paul is telling us here, he's saying, no. If you want true contentment, you want something that lasts 24/7, 365, regardless of your situation or your circumstances. So let's look at what Paul tells us. The first thing he wants us to understand about true contentment is that the seasons of true contentment. I like to say the seasons of life are true contentment. Look what he says now. He says, I'm not saying this because I'm in need. Now, when he starts that lesson there, he's saying what? If you read verses 1 through 10, especially verse 10, he's talking about the offering that they sent him. He's saying, now, I'm thankful for it, but I don't want you to think that I was sitting here worried about it. Any of you ever worried about some stuff? Some of you worried about a job, some of you worried about a doctor's report, some of you worried about a child, some of you just worried about how some things going to turn out. He's saying that he said, no, I'm not. He says, I really appreciate what you've done. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sending it back. He said, no, you're not getting it back. But I'm not saying this because I'm in need. He's talking about his disposition. A lot of times when we're, anxious or having anxiety, it's more about our disposition than the actual circumstances. It's all about how we look at what we're about to go through. And most of us don't know how to look at it from the right perspective. We look at it based on what we are capable of doing. Say ouch. Yeah. And so when we look at it from that limited point of view, you have every right to worry. Because you can't fix you. You can't. No matter how hard you try. And so you can be a little anxious. And so Paul now, just take a look at the circumstances. He wasn't just in jail for a traffic ticket. No, he was in jail for insurrection, for civil disobedience, for preaching and proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. I wonder now, if all of us got arrested, would there be enough evidence to convict you for being a Christian? They'd probably let most of us go. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, I thought you were one. No, I'm sorry, y'all can go. Is that true? How many would be convicted? Oh, just a few of them. The rest, they would let the rest of y'all go? You mean the whole First Missionary Church be coming on out? Well, they arrested everybody at First Missionary when they thought they had some Christians. But we finally only found 4. The rest of them were just having a party. But Paul was locked up. Can you imagine in Rome? Because he was saying that there was another king other than Caesar. And that was just dead wrong. If you did anything to mess up what they call the Pax Romana, which was what? The peace of Rome. And he's saying that Paul was saying that I serve a king who sits high and who looks low. He says, I serve a king who has all power in heaven and on earth. He says, I serve a king that can take care of all of my needs. And he was getting people to get excited about this king. So you know if someone's talking about someone else being a king, you got to check him. And so he was in prison now. Check this out, waiting to hear about his sentence. But so now, remember how I told you the prison was? But they didn't have a prison system like we have. In fact, the Roman prison system made our prison system look like Las Vegas. Strip. Y'all been out there. Where my folks that just got back? Don't raise your hand. Some of y'all know how those fancy hotels got food, got all the liquor you can drink. I know y'all was just out there witnessing it. And did y'all baptize anybody? Yeah, but the Roman prison system now, there was no health plan, there was no food plan, there was no clothing plan, and so you could actually die in prison while you wait for your sentence. If somebody didn't come along to take care of your needs. Now, some of us, we got family members that are in prison right now. If they were to wait for us to come visit them, they'd be dead already. Oh man, I forgot. They've been in there 6 months and that's what would happen. So now, this is the perspective in which he's writing this from. He says, oh, I'm not writing this because I'm in need. What he's saying is, he says, I'm not writing this because I was worried about whether I was going to get something from day to day. His long-term problem was whether he was going to die or not for preaching the gospel. His daily problem was whether he was going to eat today or have enough clothes. Some of us and most of us are dealing with both a long-term problem and a short-term problem. We got immediate situation and we got long-term concern. And that's enough to just drive anybody crazy. And he's saying when you're having those kinds of seasons in life, when that kind of stuff is coming at you from the left and from the right, most of us will say that I'm in need. He said, but I have learned. Now this word learn means it just doesn't happen to you all. It's just something you just don't get. You just don't wake up one morning and say, I'm content. It comes from going to the University of Hard Knocks. You've got to have some life experiences. And Paul is saying, I've had some life experiences. And he says his life experiences are, look, he says, I know what it is to be in need. Now, he says, I know. That means it's a new revelation. He hadn't been there before. See, so sometimes the first time we get a bad report or we in need, we fall apart. Because we've never been there before. We don't know how to handle bad news. We get a little bit and we're, oh my God, what God have mercy. Woo! We fall apart. We can't handle bad news. And some of us, can I talk plain? We believe just because we're Christian that everything ought to be all right. We believe, I treat everybody nice. I do real nice things. I help out. I only cuss on Wednesdays. I mean, some of them, we got it down pat. Can't wait for Wednesday. Can't wait. I done got past one. I got past two. Some of you trying to work up to get to Thursday. I'm a whole lot to march up Thursday. And we believe because the more good we do, we think we can cut a deal with God. But guess what? Christianity doesn't exempt us from life. You can get laid off just like a non-believer. You can get cancer just like a non-believer. You can have loved ones die just like a non-believer. In fact, you can die just like a non-believer. Yes. Seasons of life, circumstances. So Paul says, he says, I've learned to be content. That word content in the Hebrew means that your outward situations don't affect your inner security. That's when we fall apart, when our world up under us seems like it's coming unraveled. When you lose your job, what's the first thing you think about? Your bills. That's right. Go ahead. How pay them bills? Yeah. Do you know everybody's unemployed every day? You just need to live every day like you're unemployed. See, if you go to work, think, well, I got it. No, you don't. Unless you're self-employed. Really self-employed people, I'm not telling you go out and do that, but I was self-employed. You really know how much money you have. You ain't worried about it. You know you broke. But when you work for somebody, you think you're going to get that check every week. You counting on that. In fact, you probably got your little budget, which we're going to teach you how to do. I got this coming in, I got that coming in. I'm going to get my bonus, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And when they call you in the office, you're like, I ain't see that coming. Well, that's because you don't sit on the board of directors. They planning it. Some folks going to get it for Christmas. Some of you in here going to lose your job for Christmas. Some of you are. Some of you going to get a bad doctor's report before Christmas. So is Christmas then going to be all jacked up then? They said last week I could say jacked up, so I'm cool with this one. Those I didn't pause with. The circumstances now. So that to be content, that's that inner security, all right, that inner sense of peace, regardless of your outside circumstances. So it's not talking about what Paul is not saying what's going on the outside. He's dealing with what? A possible death sentence. He doesn't know where his food's coming from. He says, but I got peace. I got joy on the inside. He says, because I know somebody. Let me slow down. Yes. He says that, look what he says now. He says, I have learned the secret of contentment. That's your second point. After you go through the seasons of life, how do you deal with those seasons of life? The only way to deal with it is to know something. And he's saying the secret of contentment. Now, that word secret is like an an inside trader. You know how somebody gives you some information that other folks don't have so it can prevent you from doing some things you should not do? Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's called insider's information. Or let me help. Some of y'all can understand it this way. You know, for those of you who are in fraternities, raise your hand. Yeah. How about sororities? Raise your hand. Y'all got little secret handshakes. Those little secret sayings. Like y'all got some information over folks. You know, how you look at what if they're not a blip, 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 they ain't got what we got. That's secret kind of stuff. It really came out, those kinds of organizations actually came out of this kind of work because it's what pagan religions use to give people that so-called extra special feeling that they knew something that other people did not. Paul says, I know something that you don't know. I got something that you don't have. Not that you cannot have it. He said, but I got it. And because I got it, I don't have to worry about how things are going to turn out. When you read that first chapter, he's talking about, he says, you know what? I could live or I could die. If I live, to Christ. Again, if I die, he says, what? Isn't that what it says? What is that? Philippians 1:12 or 1:15, somewhere along in there? Just read the first chapter. But Paul talks about his situation and his circumstance. He said, you know what? I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think I'm going to get off. But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for us to live in that place of don't know it, right? But look now, this is the part that just really blew my mind. There's two phrases in there. In that 11th verse, he says, I've learned to be content in certain circumstances. Now this is real deep theology right here. This is really deep. I want you to get it. Watch this here now. He says, whatever circumstances. That's deep. Y'all didn't get it, did you? Let's say it again. Say whatever. Whatever. Say it again, whatever. Whatever. Deep. See, you didn't get it, did you? Whatever. Some of you dealing right now with what? Whatever. Whatever the circumstances. That's broad, isn't it? That's a big paintbrush. Then look down in that 12th verse, he says, in a few difficult situations. Isn't that what he says? No, he says, in any and every. Say any and every. Whatever. Any and every. Whatever. Oh, that's good. See, when you get to the point that it doesn't matter whatever's going on in any and every situation, that you cool, that you can handle that, that ought to bring somebody some peace here. Because some of us dealing with some stuff, but we need to say, whatever. Well, when? Any and every. Whatever. Any and every. Whatever. See, if you can hang on to those words this week, you can get through some stuff. Some of you need to be able to just say tomorrow, whatever. You just need to be able to walk through some of that. You see, that's real deep theology. Hopefully you'll catch the power of whatever in any and every situation. So what Paul is saying, I don't care what kind of circumstances I find myself in, I got a secret. I got something that's going to take care of whatever in any and every situation. Whatever I'm going through in any and every situation, I got a secret. I got something. I got something that can take care of something. I got something or someone that can help me with whatever. And anyway, look what he says now. He says, okay, let me just make it plain for you. He says, whether I'm well-fed or hungry. That's his day-to-day situation. He says, whether I get to eat today or tomorrow. And when you look at that word in the Greek, it's talking about his day-to-day situation. He says, well, whether I'm well-fed or hungry. That's his long-term. He says, whether I'm in plenty or in want. That's his long-term situation. He says, so whether it's day-to-day or long-term. He says, whatever in any and every situation. He said that I can handle that. What is he saying? He says, well, whether I'm living in a mansion or in a motel, or whether I'm living in a trailer park or a townhouse, or whether I'm living in a palace or whether I'm living in a public house. He's saying that whatever. Any other situation. He said, whether I'm wearing Sean Johns or Little Johns. He said, whether I'm wearing Jordans or Jeepers. He said, whether I'm wearing Stacey Adams or Salvation Army. He said, whether I'm wearing authentic diamond studs or artificial diamond duds. He said, whatever. In any and every situation. That's what he's talking about. He's saying now, he said, it doesn't matter whether I'm driving a Mercedes or a Mazda. He says a Chevrolet or a Cadillac. He says a a Honda or Hoopty. He said, whether it's 4-wheel drive or no-wheel drive. He said, it don't matter, whatever. He said, whatever. Look at it now. He's saying now. He's saying, it doesn't matter whether I'm drinking champagne or champagne. Y'all know what that is. Those of y'all been to college or in the service, that's champagne and ripple. Don't go home and try it. I ain't never had no champagne. Yeah. Or Don, what is it called? Dome Perignon? Yeah. Or Mad Dog 22. Go get your head right. Yeah. Paul said, whatever. In every situation, whatever. Talking true contentment now. Brother on cruise, now he's facing a death sentence. Many of us, yeah, we facing one too. We just don't know it. Every day, death sentence, we facing one. Every day. We don't know whether we'll have enough food for the day or tomorrow. Every day. Look at, just like we're going to be sending funding to the other parts that the hurricane came through. The day before, they were saying, I got this. In less than 24 hours. Wiped out. Now, why should we be generous? Because our day is coming. You know? Yeah. So we're going to help out because we can. And this is what Paul is talking about here. They took up a special offering just to send to him because he was in need. And he was what? Happy about that. But he wasn't just happy because they did it. He was happy because of the source of his contentment. That's your third point there. The source of your contentment. Look what he says. He says, I can do all this. Some of you guys might say, I can do all things or I can do everything. But this says, I can do all this through him who strengthens me. He's talking about the source. Now, he says, I can do all this. What is the this? Now, most of us take this verse out of context. We sprinkle this on everything. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things. We just love that. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you just sprinkle it on whatever situation you're in. I can do all things. I can do all things. No, you can't. Let me give you an example to see if I can help you. How many of you heard of Amtrak? Okay, good. Many of you know the South Leg runs from Charlotte to Raleigh and then back again. And there's a lot of power that it takes for that train to run on that Amtrak. And it can run all the way up and all the way back, all the way up and all the way back. Because it can do all things as long as it's on that track. But what if that Amtrak got up one morning and said, you know what, I want to go to Asheville. I'm tired of going just to Raleigh and back to Charlotte. And I got all this power in the engine. And I'm just going, when I get up by Greensboro, I'm going to hang a left and go on up 40 and head on up to the mountains. How long before that train get off the track will it be stuck? But it's sitting there saying, I can do all things. I can do all things. No, what Paul is saying, I'm in God's will. Listen to me, somebody. You want God to do something for you? God says, get in my will. You want to live a life that counts? God says, get in my will. God has said, when you get in his will, then he's got a responsibility to come to your aid. And that word power means indwelling of the Holy Spirit. He's saying that when he comes, he's going to drop himself inside of you as long as you stay on track. He said, as long as you're running from Charlotte to Raleigh, if that's the track he puts you on, don't you be trying to go to Asheville. He said, no, because you can't do all things once you get off track. Many of us don't stay on track with God. And see, when we get off track, we want God to fix it for us. And we talk about, I can do all things. I can do it. No, God said, get in line. Line it up with him. He said, when you do get in line with him, guess what? You can do all things. You can run with it. You can go with it. He said, what? Then you can be able to say, whatever. That's when you can say, whatever. That's when you can say, anytime, any place, whatever. Why? Because God says, I got this. When you're running from the Lord, that's what Paul is saying. Paul is saying, I'm on the Lord's side. And he says, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know who holds tomorrow. David said, the Lord is my shepherd. He said, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still water. He does what? He restores my soul. He says, yes, he said, he leads me in the path. There it is. All righteousness. death, I shall fear no evil. Why? Because you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Watch this part now. He says, he prepares a table before me. Check out where now. In the presence, you're going through some stuff. You got some enemies coming at you. But God says, I'm going to set the table up for you. Because I'm going to fix it up for you. And you're going to be able to take care of it. And because of whatever, he says, I am with you. And he says, goodness, you're going to send between. I read it to you. Goodness and mercy. You're going to send it. And they're going to usher you on me. And whatever. And every situation, where it don't matter. Whatever. Paul is saying, when you live a life that counts, God's going to take care of you. He's got an obligation to you. And it doesn't matter what you're going through. That's right. I heard John tell you about voting. Go ahead on. It don't matter. Whatever. Whoever. Doesn't matter. Because I serve a God. He's still on the throne. Come November night, you won't now to come or heaven. I'll be able to go and stand before my God. And I'll be able to say, the Lord sits high and lift it up. I can say that I don't have to worry about who's in the White House. Because I know who's on the throne. And you know who's on the throne. You go ahead on and do your public duty. But you don't have to sit around and worry. Once you vote, you can go home and go to bed. You can get up in the morning and you can drink your coffee. And you can read the paper. And you can talk to the Lord and say, Lord, you're still on the throne. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Why? Because I know who He is. He's Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He's the lily of the valley. He's the bright and morning star. He's Mary's baby. Yeah, that's who He is. And that's why I'm content. That's why I don't let things worry. Call me with anything. The first thing I do is God still on the throne? If He is, He's going to handle us. If I'm in His will. And if you're in His will, doesn't matter. Whatever. Say whatever. In His will. Whatever. In His will. You see, you can't separate the two. So Paul was okay with what tomorrow holds. He was okay because he knew who held tomorrow. So whatever you're going through, you can face it with